CTV Calgary, local breaking news.
Good afternoon. An exit ramp along 16th Avenue has been closed because of more feeder main concerns. The integrity of two more segments of the pipe are now in question. Calgary's mayor says there is an enhanced level of deterioration, and fiber optic monitoring found a wire snap in each of the sections. He says the ramp closure is a precautionary measure. A detour is now in place for the Sarcee exit in the westbound lanes. You now turn off at 29th Avenue near the Rona store. No word on how long the ramp closure will last. Meanwhile, city crews continue to work on a feeder main replacement pipe, which is expected to be complete by the end of the year. The Canada Border Services Agency has seized more than 1,000 kilograms of drugs in a few separate busts. That includes nearly 500 kilos of cocaine, with several kilograms of suspected heroin inside a truck carrying a load of beverages heading for Calgary in late November. A second bust in early December found 300 kilos of cocaine, and a third inspection of a truck carrying vacuum parts led to more than 200 kilos of meth. All three drivers were arrested for smuggling. One person is in hospital in life-threatening condition after an assault this morning. Police have one person in custody. It happened around 6:20 in the 100 block of Rundle-Cairn Road Northeast. Investigators remain on scene. There's no word yet on what led to the assault or whether charges have been laid. An employee of a Shaughnessy nail salon and spa faces a sexual assault charge. Police say the victim visited Shaughnessy Nails Time Spa last month, and during the appointment for a waxing service, the victim alleges they were touched in a sexual manner without their consent. 41-year-old Than Tru Tran, who also goes by Kayla, is scheduled to appear in court April 9th. The investigation into the cause of two fires this morning continue. The most recent one started at about 6:45 on Temple Close in the northeast. The fire was contained to a garage and a shed, each with extensive damage. It's believed the fire started in the shed. The other fire happened just after 4 a.m. on Bow Crescent in the northwest. Crews found a shed fully engulfed in flames. Investigators say there were also some downed power lines and damage to the next-door neighbor's fence. There were no injuries reported, and the shed was near a home that was boarded up. It's southern Alberta's oldest town, but Fort Macleod made it through the 20th century and a quarter of the 21st century without something: a traffic light. That will change later this year when the town's first ever traffic light is installed at this intersection with Highway 3. The Mounties established the fort in 1874, and Fort Macleod became a town in 1892. The town says 11,000 vehicles pass through the intersection every day. The Fort Museum says the project will be one for the history books.
One day we'll be talking to people and we'll be saying, yeah, like, can you believe it? Back in 2026, that's when they first got their first traffic light, you know, and we'll have to have a display for it set up because, you know, that's how history goes.
The traffic light is expected to be up and running by June. The inaugural Okiyea Corral Film Festival celebrating Indigenous film kicks off in Calgary today. A reception and award ceremony was held last night at the Confluence, formerly Fort Calgary. Over 3 days, it will showcase filmmakers from the Treaty 7 territory and Indigenous storytellers from across Alberta, BC, the Yukon, and the Northwest territories. Those behind the film festival say they're very proud it's finally getting off the ground and are excited for the future.
Where we want to go is to actually be a part of the film community in a much more in-depth take with them. You know what I mean? Is moving forward with the bigger leagues like Calgary International Film Festival, Calgary Underground Film Festival.
Each festival evening will include screenings and panel discussions in hopes of fostering meaningful dialogue between filmmakers and audiences. It's all happening this weekend at the Globe Cinema. A small-town band director is heading to the Junos next month after being nominated for a National Teacher of the Year award. Alex Hutchin is the band director at Cremona School. Of the 328 students from kindergarten to grade 12 in the school, 145 of them are enrolled in music. When he took over in 2017, the program was close to being cut because it had only 9 students in band. He's one of 5 nominees from across the country nominated for Teacher of the Year. Hutchin says he's proud of how the music program has progressed in the small school with kids of all ages taking part.
It's also just rewarding to see them from when they're kindergarten all the way up. I believe my first group of kindergartens are now in grade 8, and that group they're killing it. They're really good. They're a really good crew.
The Music Counts Award nominees are headed to the Juno Awards that will be presented March 29th in Hamilton. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on CTV News at 5 and 6 or anytime online at ctvnewscalgary.ca.